Hello, ladies and gents. This is Becky Johnson with Sweetheart Quilt Design Company. And today we're going to talk about this Star Scrap Magic Quilt. And this quilt is available as a free download. You can make it entirely from scraps, or you can use yardage. I put the yardage needed on the pattern. You can make your star centers the same as your star points, or I had these eagles and I fussy cut them just because I like to do that. And this is a great way, if you want to make it as a quilt of valor, to honor our veterans. You can change their lives by making a quilt like this for them and show that they're appreciated. So we've already done a YouTube video on how to make the 4-patch and how to make the half square triangles, and then the flying geese unit. So after you make your flying geese, then you just take them, sew them together into a star like this. And the instructions for cutting the other pieces are on the pattern. Now this quilt goes together just a little differently because we have 4-inch blocks and then we have 8-inch blocks. So rather than just sewing the rows together, you have to sew the rows together in sets of 2. And I went ahead and did a smaller quilt so for demonstration. Oops. There it goes. Sorry about that. This way. Nope. The flags are upside down. This way. So I've already done 2 sets of 2 and sewn those together. I have the 4th row ready to go on like this, and I'm going to show you how to do the mechanics here. And we're pressing the seams opposite directions so that your seams will nest when you put it together. Now on the 5th row, there's a star in the middle of it. So I've got these both ends done, and then I'm going to, just making sure I got it right. No, I don't. I have it backwards. Okay. So the star is going to go in the middle here. So I'll just sew that star in and press the seams. They'll be going this way on this row, and that'll give me the 5th row put together. So when you do these, get this out of the way. When you do these, you're going to want to look at your pattern, and this is the smaller version of it, but I've got, you're going to lay out those 2 rows. So I have my stack of 4 patches and half square triangles, and so the first one, I'm going to have to turn this over so I can do it, otherwise everything's going to be off. So I'm going to lay them out like this, according to the pattern. I need a couple of 4 patches going this way. Make sure the blue is going the right direction. And then we're going to do more half square triangles. This way. This way. And like this. And then we're going to put these 4 patches in, and they kind of make a little heart in the center. Now the way these are pressed, some of them, like this with the final pressing, I pressed it all one direction. So this one goes toward the background, while as most of them go toward the blue. So I switched these out so when I put those together, those seams will nest. And let me see if I can do the same thing here. Maybe not. Sometimes they just have to stack. Yep, these will just have to stack. And then I need to put in 2 more sections, but I ran out of space. So what I'll do is I'll stitch to here and then scoot this over and add the last 2. So what we're going to do is just fold this down. Whoops, little press thing I need to fix. And we're going to start sewing the center seam right here. And I'm going to sew these together. Okay, and my camera lady pointed out to me that I had that one twisted. So it's a good thing to just step back and compare before you start sewing and make sure you have everything the right way. So I picked up this first one. We're going to chain piece this together and then not cut them apart, but just go back and do the seams. And that way we won't hopefully get anything twisted or turned. So I'm going to do that one, and then I'm going to pick up this one and line up my corners. So you can see it all goes really fast when you set them out like this ahead of time. Something happened. Okay, and then I found it works better for me if I don't sew the last one, then I don't lose my place. And I just lay these out. Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out why I had one left over because I counted them, but you only need 77 of these, so I have one left over. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and these seams I have to stack on these 2 4 patches. So I'll just double check, make sure I've got them stacked. Got them lined up. And the same with these, when you're putting these half square triangles together like this, you want to double check, open it up inside, and make sure you've got them lined up. There's another one I have to double check. Yep, got it. Okay, and there's my whole row, like this. Good idea to do a final double check, make sure it matches the pattern. Have my camera lady, who's my wonderful daughter, checking it for me too. Okay, so that one goes up, that one goes down, and that one goes out to the side. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to pick these up and sew. Another iron thing I need to check and fix. And we're going to sew these together, make sure we get the center seams. And on these inner seams, it doesn't matter which way they go because you're not going to sew them to anything. It's just every other one goes up or down. So in this case, I'm going to put the back one out that way and the front one this way. So when I get a little ways into it, I'm going to double check, make sure I have my seam matched up. And then I'm going across my point the right way. A lot of times when I sew, I use a little, I call it a granny just because that's how it was introduced to me, but just a little 3/4 inch or inch piece of folded over fabric, and it keeps your threads together so you don't have to hold them as much, and it also saves you thread. So then I'm going to match up. We're going to stitch the next seam, and once I get a ways into it, so on the first one this seam went up, so on the other side of it I want to go up, and so the bottom one will go down. So I make sure I've got those seams locked in together, and then check and make sure my squares are together at the other end. And you just work your way down the rows like that. So then you end up with these pieces like I did here for row 5. Okay? And so that's how you put together these double rows like this to allow for the stars. All right, so the download's available, and have a lot of fun with it. Thank you so much for watching, and please press the like button and subscribe.